Guys, welcome back to my channel, my cutesy squad, right? So I remember when I was younger, right? So of course my parents had favorites, like legitly had favorites, right? So my third sister, she was a daddy's girl, like legitly a daddy's girl. He hated the rest of us. My older sister, me, and my last sister, and my brother. But my third sister, she was a daddy's girl. Anything she wants, she gets it, right? So my mom, at the time, I think my brother was her favorite, when he was younger, yeah, or so. So I think. So that happened until we got older. I guess that's her still favorite. My mama's favorite is my brother, right? But after a while, I became her favorite as well. And like the middle child don't get any like what's that called? Any attention, right? That is pretty much true. So my third sister always wanted to get attention. And she got it from her dad. He gave her everything. She was a typical daddy's girl. I just wanted to be accepted from anybody. I didn't want to be no one's favorite or anything. I just wanted to be accepted. Because I know it was different. So I try to like be like the good kid, but it never turned out the way I wanted to turn out, right? Because I always get in trouble. He hated us so much. He beat us a lot. He never beat his favorite daughter, you know. So that happened, right? So it was like a lot of times like that. Maybe because she helped him a lot. That's why she came the daddy's girl. So it was things like that, right? So that happened, right? I didn't thought that your parents supposed to have a favorite. I didn't thought your parents supposed to have a favorite. They don't supposed to have a favorite, but some parents do. So I think that best parents don't have favorites. Um, Pick and choose which one they love more. If that kid helps them more or stuff like that, right? Or gets good grades or stuff like that, right? So that happened, right? So I guess I was like the mama's girl. Because they say daddy's girl and then you have a mama's girl, something like that, right? So to me, I just wanted to be accepted to anybody. Any group I was in, I wanted to be accepted. So I remember one time, like when I was in after school program, right? I, I, I didn't think I fit in. It's not because they was hard of hearing and deaf, right? It was like they didn't want to accept me. They didn't want me to be part of like little parts of like things they was doing, right? So I'm gonna tell you one time, right? How it made me feel. It made me feel kind of sad, like I was not in the group originally. They just put me in there because they needed more like people, to get more money, from these other companies or something like that. So I went in the after school program and it was the other kids, and we was eating snacks. We had like chips and water, right? And it was time for us to go on the bus. And the other kids left the room dirty, right? And they looked to me and like, it was like, hey Venetia, can you like sweep up and like clean? I felt like I was the personal like cleaner of the group. Everything like if anything was on the floor or anything, I had to pick up, right? So at the time I was like, I just want to pick up because it looked dirty and that was a different person's classroom, right? And I didn't want the person who owns that class to be like, who was in here, right? So I pick up some of the bottles, and throw it in the trash, and I guess it got into their heads like, we're going to use Venetia to be our cleaner, right? That's the only thing we can use Venetia for, right? Because she's mostly useless, right, in this group, right? Because this group was supposed to be only for hard of hearings and deaf, for opportunity for them to like get little things, like get their license, get summer jobs and stuff like that, right? So in my head, after a while, I started to notice that they was using me to like clean up the area we was in, right? So at one time, right, I was sweeping, or like I was sitting down, and I guess I was teaching the other kids how to like get their license, or pass to get their license, right? And after a while, I got bored, I didn't want to do it anymore. So the after school lady, second lady, right? She was like, Venetia, can you like start to sweep? So I started to sweep, you know, and she's like, oh, that's not the way you're supposed to sweep. You don't supposed to sweep, make the dust go all over the place, right? And I'm like, is she just teaching me of like how I sweep? Like, I'm supposed to be sweeping. It's not even my classroom. I'm not the main person who's dirtying up the classroom. Everything like my snacks and my drink, I always take it with me on the bus. The other kids just leave it around in the classroom, and make the place dirty, right? Apparently, I felt like I was at accepted. I thought that that group was mostly supposed to make me like fit in. I never fit in nowhere. Like I was never. I don't know if I was like trying to fit in, but I always wanted to be accepted in a group or in a place. Apparently, I didn't thought like when I started like the after school program, another teacher told me like you should start up for this program, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll make more friends, or like be in something I was never in, or be accepted of something. In my head, I just wanted to be accepted, you know, for my birthmarks, me being different in the world. I just wanted to be accepted. Apparently, nobody wanted to accept me, and it felt really bad. It made me sad. Like, I joined a group to be fitted in, like, accepted, and go to places and, like, be part of it. But apparently, they was just using me to clean up and stuff like that. So, guys, if you had these kind of stories, like, you never fit in, or a group was making you feel like you was never belong there, comment down below, because I really want to know, because that happened to me. And apparently I'm not going to be that same person. If I don't step in, I don't step in. I'm going to accept it, and move on with my life. Bye.